You wouldn't believe how hard it is to try to make these videos so that people will understand them. But anyway, good evening, afternoon, morning, or whenever you're watching this. Today I'm doing a demo on a frog. I hope you enjoy it. I had fun doing it. Good day.
Okay, if you've been watching this or just starting to watch this, I just a second ago made a mouse out of the same basic shape that I made my teddy bear, which is also right here. And now to continue with that same basic shape, I'm going to do a frog. I'm going to kick it up just a little so I can do it just a little faster. It's one thing when you got a big nice torch, you can melt glass faster. Now, when you're melting glass, what you're looking for is a nice, I want to say orange glow, but it's a light orange pinkish glow. And you don't want to get it to where it's starting to get white, bubbly hot. You just want it that orange glow, is what I've called it in the past. And again, as you can see my fingers, I'm turning, tilting downward, and letting that glass sort of draw into itself. So it's making a nice round ball. Okay? For this demo, I am going to use the same size rod all the way around, just heat and melt and shape. Because you'll learn later on that you can use anything to get anything done, but sometimes, but if you've got the sizes available, it's easier just to use this right size rod for the right size job. But if you don't have the right sizes available, you know, if you can't be with the one you love, love the one you're with. Seal them together well. I'm going to do this one just a little higher than and a little off than the one I just did, but it's the same basic shape. Round ball with another round ball on its head, forehead. Okay. Now let it round in. Now, variation. So the roundness right now, I'm going to get that nice and round, and then flatten just a little bit. Got a round disc now instead of a round ball for a head. Now, I'm going to give this some green contrast color. Instead of 2 bumps for ears, these are going to be the 2 bumps for the eyes. Okay? One here. Heat up, seal in, pull out. DQ swirl. Again, you try to learn how to make it opposite of each other, not one forward, not one back. Don't you just love air conditioning? I'll be watching this in the middle of summer and saying, boy, I wish I was that cool. And versa versa. Those people down in Australia, if they're looking at it right now, they're saying, oh, I wish it was as cool. Okay. 2 eyes. Nice and glowing. You can see that. Ooh, pretty. Now, legs. These are going to be the same legs that I just put on the mouse a little while ago. But in this case, I'm going to heat up just about 1/8 of an inch with this 10 mil rod. 8 mil rod, excuse me. 1/8 of an inch. Heat up where I'm going to put the rod to. Touch and pull out. And just keep stretching a little bit and pulling. And then you got one leg. 90-degree angle basically from where I just did that one. Well, maybe even less. I don't know. That's the way I feel at the moment. It's going to be a little less than 90. Heat, touch, About an eighth of an inch is what you're heating up on the rod of the leg itself and pulling out. Okay, 2 down, 2 to go. You'll learn that some of your animals, again, you're using the same alphabet of shapes over and over and over. And just like you use an alphabet of letters that you put like the word CAT together to make one word, but just by changing that subtly in another direction, making it HAT, it becomes a totally different word in your head. The same thing with these animals. You can do the same shapes over and over, but subtly changing it in one direction or another, and you've got a totally different animal. It's not the same bear. Now it's a mouse, or now it's a frog, just by changing it in the right direction at the right time. And basically using the same shapes over and over and over. I've geared most of the images that I make to the 5-year-old in all of us. A 5-year-old can come up to my craft table and say elephant, cat, mouse, swan, whale, snail, unicorn, dolphin, bear. And they don't confuse the bear with the mouse. They don't confuse the dolphin with the elephant. I mean, just basics. And that's the way it is. Now you can leave this just the way it is, and you got a simple frog. But the way I do my frogs nowadays, I usually put 2 toes on each foot. But right now, kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. If you can leave it off and still people like it as a frog, leave it. You don't have to put toes on it. But for me, I like toes. Now, how we doing? I'm going to do one more something. Same basic shapes that I've done before. Just putting them in a little bit different shape. Coming up with something. An elephant. Well, that's the same idea. No. Well, we'll see. I know I've got one more animal that I can make using those same basic shapes again. You'll learn that you can heat up your legs, heat up the body, move and manipulate things around if you want to. It does not always have to be as it were, it's not set in stone. It's set in glass, and glass moves a whole lot easier than stone. I'll have to remember that one. It's funny how you can come up with ideas when you're not even thinking about them. Okay. I could make this into a pendant, but I'm not going to. Continuing, I guess, with the glass menagerie that I've been doing. Oh, that toe got big compared to the other one. And that's one thing about your glass is it's going to have a character all its own. You can take all of my frogs, line them up one right after the other, and each one will have its own unique character. Each one will be, but just like you could sign your name 20 times, you could put 20 pieces of glass on a table, and 4 of them could be mine. And I can look over that table and say, that one's mine, that one's mine, that one's mine, because it's just the way I do my glass, my art. I'm looking for a punte to pull this sucker off. Here we go. Touch it to its nose. Heat up the back end. Now, in this case, I'm going to try to do it right down to the nub. and round it in. And we have a frog. Fire polish where I had the punte. And the glass menagerie is growing. Knee deep, knee deep. Enjoy your day. Okay, this is a frog. Round ball, round head, then flat, but still, same idea. And the round eyes, or where the round ears will be.